Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Team Point and Shoot Outdoors. We head into the woods a couple times and we see... Yep, nothing. Nothing at all. So instead of deer hunting this week, we're going to finally finish the mini-series on goose decoys by making the V-boards. So stay tuned with us and we'll show you how it's done.
Alright, so here you see me cutting the plexiglass. It's a 4-inch tall piece by 5.5 inches long. So, from here on out the video will be fast forwarded so it doesn't take so long if you wonder why things are going so fast. Here I am cutting out the second piece. I'm just nipping off the corners here so they don't break off if you whack it on something when they get cold. Here I'm going to be using a punch to make sure that my drill bit doesn't walk over the plexiglass. Now the holes for this, the center hole is at 2 3/4 right in the middle. And the holes on the ends are 3/4 in from each end. Now in the future here there's going to be a screw hole that is 1 inch up from the bottom right underneath of the center hole. Here you'll see me using a small drill bit to drill pilot holes because a 1/4 inch bit, as you'll see in a minute, really grabs onto this plexiglass and makes it spin around in a circle. So I used a 1/4 inch bit for the final hole as I'm using 1/4 bolts. Here I'm cutting the arms for the V-board. They're going to be 28 inches long. The final dimensions will be 28 inches long by 1 3/4 inches wide, thereabouts. I ripped them down on a table saw, but you can use a circular saw with the edge guide on it. It would work just as well. This is just a little bit faster. Gotta have a clean shop. So here I'm marking out where the bolt holes will go. It's an inch from the end, and I just go to the middle of each board, which is 7/8. Alright, here I'm going to drill out each end for the bolt using a 1/4 inch drill bit. I used the drill press. You can use a regular drill, but I found it's a lot easier to drill a straight hole with a drill press, so this is why I'm using it. Here I'm going to be marking out for where the eye bolt goes in the middle of the center arm that doesn't move. This is where you're going to hook your string and your weight to. Here I'm drilling a screw hole for a stainless steel screw, and again I should have used a clamp to hold that down. But this screw hole is for a stainless steel screw that goes down into the middle arm, because that middle arm is going to be stationary. That stainless steel screw is 1 inch long, that way it won't go all the way through. Also going to be using those stainless steel screws in the end of this to hold the silhouette to the arm. Here I'm getting ready to cut the edge off of the other side of the arm. That way we can open it up. You have to, or it won't open all the way. So I stuck it in here. I cut one side off previously. I will swing it around and then I'll see how far I can make it until I have to cut the other corner off. So here I'm swinging it around and I'll get ready to mark it with a Sharpie. Alright, there I was actually cutting the other corner off there. Now the bolts that go into this are galvanized 1/4 by 3 inch long bolts. The washers are galvanized as well. I used lock nuts on these and I could not find those in galvanized, so I just used nickel plated for those. I tried to use everything as water resistant as possible. Stainless steel bolts were just too expensive for this, for me anyway. You can use stainless. Here I just use a ratchet and a wrench to tighten things up. Make sure you don't over tighten it, because then you might crack the plexiglass. Here I'm going to be putting in the eye bolt. This is to attach your string of weight to for when you deploy the decoy out into the water. And this is 1/4 as well. I put a nut on top so it doesn't sink all the way up in there. It makes it easy to tie your string to. And then I used a lock nut on top with a washer. Just use a screwdriver and a wrench to snug this up. Screwdriver stick right in the hole there and you can tighten it up pretty fast. Here I am tracing out the decoy. You want to make sure that you use one that has its head up, because that's the most natural looking. And you've seen me do this before in the last video making decoys. The process from here on out is the same as far as that goes, as making the decoys.
So this is what you get after you assemble your V-board and put the silhouettes on it. I didn't show me putting the silhouettes on it because my camera died and I didn't know it. I just screwed them to the side with stainless steel screws. And that's the easiest way to do it, I think. So the silhouette that is on the board or arm that does not move, the one that you hook your weight to, needs to be opposite of the other two. So the silhouette needs to be facing towards the eyelet, because when you open the other two up, that way they are facing the same direction as well. I will show you a picture of what this looks like when it's all opened up. And in my last video I showed you how to paint the decoys. The last video of the Makin Goose Decoys series. You paint them the same way, but the difference is you need to use a high quality oil-based paint and primer. And these need to be sealed up really well, because the hardboard, if there's any exposed on it, will swell up and come apart eventually. And nobody wants that after all the work you've put into these. So that is the most important thing I can tell you about this. So I think you pretty much got the gist of how to put these together now. Since we're at the point, I'm going to show you my trail cam picture of the week, even though the deer hunting has been pretty terrible. They're moving through at nighttime. So here is the trail camera picture of the week. Alright, so like I said, I'm not sure what we're going to get into next week. It depends on how much the deer hunting changes. It's been pretty terrible. Hopefully it gets a lot better. The rut should be starting. They're doing the pre-rut, chasing the does and doing all that stuff now. But we're just not seeing them in the daylight. So hopefully that changes. So, thanks for tuning in this week. I know you guys are probably expecting deer hunting, but the deer hunting has been pretty terrible. And there was just nothing but trees and squirrels and chipmunks to show you. And I'm sure everybody's tired of seeing them on my channel. I know I am. So, goose season's not that far away. Only 3 weeks away till it opens here in Maryland. So, that's perfect. This is perfect timing if you guys are still making V-boards and all that stuff. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so. Please like this video. Please share this video. It really helps me out. We're really trying to grow our channel here at Team Point and Shoot. Check us out on Facebook. We are at facebook.com/Team Point Shoot. We are on Twitter at TPS Outdoors. And we have a brand new website. It's teampointshoot.com. And go there to check out all of our latest videos, and there's a little article that goes along with each one of them. And on that website, I will have a materials list for making one of these V-boards. So you'll have to multiply it for however many you want to make. So, I appreciate your views. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.